Good day, guys. Just taking a minute to lay out here in the sun. I've got a beating in my face, but I need it after a long winter. So I just wanted to take a minute to talk about when you should and when is a good idea and when you can eat sugar and sugary things. Because as you notice, most people in this world, are fat from not being able to regulate their food intakes. And this is just a video for Paulo from Texas. Thanks for donating, Big Paul. You're helping me through some times now. I'm here now at a really nice campground. No one around right now, feeling really good. It's been a long winter in that shack, so I appreciate the donations helping me get back on my feet and fix up my body again after winter. You deplete after winter here. In Uruguay it's quite cold, so appreciate the donations, Paulo Guarnere. I hope I've pronounced your last name correctly, I don't know, but yeah, and this is like a food plant mixed with sugar video. So the thing is, there's three main ways that I was just thinking in my tent here how to eat sugar and when you can and should. So the thing is, I'll go through the little list of three. The first is when you're doing high intensity activity, i.e. not laying down with your arm behind your back. If I was walking to the beach in the middle of the sun, in the middle of the day, okay, I can have some ice cream. I can have all the bad stuff. You can have, high fructose lollies, everything then. Because your body's going to process it. That's why that's the only time that you should be eating the worst things, and they are the worst things. Now, I'm not advocating it, but I'm saying that's when you can do it. Not that you should or something, but it will help your brain activity, or the glucose in like gummy lollies or something, I don't know what you're thinking of eating, a Snickers bar, an ice cream, a lollipop, whatever. Keep in mind that, like the hard candies, they end up in your body more calcifying because it's hard candy and it re-hardens in your body. You might think you completely break it down with your saliva, but it hits little corners in your body, and if it was hard candy, it'll become hard candy again. And then that creates an excellent base for these bacterial colonies, which are, the sugar parasites of the body. And they're the ones that keep you in the motion of eating too much, and that accelerates your aging. The hyperglycemia and the glycemic index is what I'm laying reference to. People like Ray Kurzweil in his book, How to Live Long Enough to Live Forever, will say, keep your glycemic index load down. So you have whole grain bread instead of white bread, as an example, right? That's all I was saying that for. So that's the time that you can eat like the worst, like sugars, during the middle of the day, where you feel that run downness, and then you feel the pep up. It peps you up. Like that's when you can do it, right? If you're on the way to the beach, like the other day I did like a big trek, 5-hour walk. Well, that's a great time to have sugars, because I'm actually going to enzymatically break it down, especially if I've had something like a banana in the morning for breakfast, right? Because you're going to get those enzymes, or if you've had some honey, which helps, the same as like sugars, right? It's sugary. So it just depends what you want to eat. I'm not advocating like eating the worst stuff. I have recently started to eat some like lollies because of this, because it's that change of season, and like it's spring, and so I've been gobbling them up. Like it was just very hard to resist. And the way to resist would be, which I'm going to talk about in number 3. But number 2 is, that was number 1, high intensity activity. That's when you can take sugars. When you should take the sugars, unless you're going to sleep through it, but you're going to find yourself going down and down and down, libido and energetically, is in the afternoon. This is number 2. This is maybe when you should. You've had your whole day doing things, whatever you've been doing, and then, about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, I always feel the call to do that. And it's not just parasitic, that's from, my cells as well. like, you know, me, not parasites surrounding the cells, but the actual cells themselves, which is like more you, right? You, the body with the light part embedded. Because the light body touches your cells. So I know I'm not this body, but you know what I mean. I'm more this body than I am the parasites surrounding the cells. So that's what I mean. Oh, by the way, I got my top braces off. So there's that tooth that used to be sticking, that tooth used to be sticking back, and this one used to stick right out. So got that nicely fixed up, and this is the only remaining problem. So thank you guys for donating and helping me get my teeth fixed as well, so I can make more videos and smile, right? Anyway, so number 2 is when you should, and that's for me in the afternoon, about 4 or 5. You feel real run down. You want to have that afternoon nap. That's when you can shove in some type of sugar, and that's maybe the should. So number 1 is when you can. In the middle of the day, you're really going. Your metabolism is really working. Things are breaking down. Your body's really in hunger mode, right? It's the middle of the day. That's when you can have the worst sugars. In the afternoon, number 2, when you should have some sugar, in my opinion, is in the afternoon, because you've just had a long day and your brain is not computing the same. It's like do, you know, like running down. So then you pep it up with some sugars, and it's like really being made like a bit of a stigma against sugars in the health movement, and it's for the right reason, right? They clog everyone up. The belly that everyone has, right? The big bellies everyone has, are blocking qi. Or qi is created in the belly, right? Then it turns to shen in the heart and wu ji, right? First it's jing energy, primordial, but you turn it into qi energy in the stomach. The stomach, or you know, the navel and solar plexus area chakras, right? So this is why you don't want parasitic realm antennae or gut worms and sugar parasite colonies sucking your energy. So this is why it's important to regulate the sugar, and why, you know, vegan movement, health movement are very against eating any type of synthetics, like I have been for so long and still am. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it, because, you know, I've realized that glucose is very important to the brain. Now ultimately we would be on more seaweeds, and you would get the 8 essential sugars. You've probably never heard of that. You've heard of 18 amino acids, which are essential, and all this essential minerals and nutrients, but I don't think many people have heard of the 8 essential sugars. It's like mannose, fucose, not fructose, but fucose, and etc. There's eight essential sugars, and they're in seaweeds. When I studied it, they're in seaweed. So the other day I was on the beach and I was eating this wakame-like sea lettuce, and it tasted really nice, and I went, that's not bitters. Because I'm going to show you another video of a mulberry tree where I'm going to tell you to eat pre-ripened fruit, because you get more of the bitters and you feel it instantly, like push, like explode colonies, bacterial bad colonies apart, and because bitters are healing. But I thought, why is this seaweed that I'm eating like sweet? It's got to be sugars, right? And then I remembered the 8 essential sugars. Oh yeah, they're in seaweeds. So I was just on the beach and I was just picking up seaweed and eating it. I put it on video, you're going to see that. I was also drinking sweet river water. As we know, you know, things like the birch tree take sweet river water and turn it into xylitol, basic saccharide sugars. And then you get polysaccharides after, like mushrooms that develop off the birch tree, turn the simple xylitol saccharides into polysaccharides, right? You get the beta-glucans, right? And that's still like a type of sugar. It's a polysaccharide. It's on its way to an oil from a sugar, from water. Sweet water to xylitol in the tree, right? And then the mushroom sticking off the side of it is taking the simple sugars like the xylitol, saccharides, small chain sugars and turning them into big complex polysaccharides and like beta-glucans in the mushrooms. So yeah, anyway, so number 3 is, I think, the most important, because this is when people get the fat gut. It's, you know, eating sugar when you are laying down like this, when you are relaxing, you're watching the television or something, what people do. I obviously have nature as my television out here in my phone, but you know, that idea of, I don't know, sitting down, watching a movie, watching TV, maybe it is even reading, but the idea of not moving the body and still